Doug Seifert. Coach, if you'd like to open up with some statements.
Tough game. We didn't play particularly as well as we are capable of, and take credit to Concord. They did a good job. I thought their kids played hard. We battled. We were there, had a chance, to win the game. Just one of those games. We just had a little trouble catching and passing the ball a little bit more than we did. We turned the ball over more tonight than we have. It was a tough game for us, but our team battled like they always do. I couldn't be any prouder of any team that I've ever been associated with as a player or as a coach. We're able to get the most out of all of our guys, and they really bought into what we're trying to do here. So I'm disappointed because we had high expectations. We knew we were playing a good team tonight, and we had to win that game, and we wanted to win that game for a lot of reasons. Our next goal of the season was to win the conference tournament, which is obviously over, and then getting another win for the regional rankings would have been nice to have as well. So that's basically wrapping it up in a nutshell.
Just too many lost possessions, Danny?
Yeah, we just didn't take care of the ball as well as we normally do, and we missed some shots we normally make. I thought a couple times our guys were bumped inside, and that threw us off a little bit. It wasn't reffed a physical game, but at times I thought it was just a little bit of pushing in there that made us miss a few easier shots that we normally make. And their kids played hard. I mean, I take my hat off to Concord, and we knew we were playing a team that won 6 out of 7 games, that felt good about themselves, and they were ready to play.
You led by 9 in the first half. You looking back on that, you wish you just, you guys would have been able to even put more separation, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want that. That's no doubt. But they hung tough, and they made some plays. It was a sloppy game, both ways. They turned the ball over quite a bit as well, and it was just it was tough. It was tough to get in an offensive rhythm where we were just pushing in a transition. We didn't get as many transition opportunities as I would like. We try to push the ball. We score 88, 89 points a game, and we just didn't have enough possessions really to do that.
Danny, you had like a 5 or 6 point lead second half, and Acre Emanuel just kind of went crazy in one stretch there and got 11 straight points for him. Until then, he hadn't had a field goal. Were you guys doing anything particular to try to keep the ball from him?
Yeah, we just lost our focus a little bit on a few assignments. He went off a few screens. We didn't force him off, and he made some plays. And then a couple tough shots as well. I mean, he's a good player, so to keep him without having a field goal for the entire game would have been tough. But I thought we made him work. He just made a couple tough shots, and he got a couple easy shots, I think, that got him going.
Y'all got a little reprieve there at the end of regulation with that missed free throw. Hopefully you were thinking of maybe the momentum would carry over.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
Yeah, that was a tough call to make at that point in the game, but he missed the foul shot, and we had another chance to win in overtime, absolutely. So I thought our guys were pretty excited about it at that time, and then I think they had 10 out of their 12 points from the foul line in overtime, which is tough. There's a couple just people bumping into each other that maybe sometimes go as no calls that were could have been called fouls, and they were called fouls. So that hurt though. But when you score 10 out of your 12 from the foul line for a team that doesn't we don't tend to foul too much throughout the season was a little bit difficult. And they stepped up and made foul shots. Their kids made pressure foul shots to give them the lead.
Ben, how often do you make that shot after you get your guy that high in the air and he's basically past you and you got all day? Well, you don't have all day, you have 4 seconds or whatever it was, but.
It felt good coming off and felt confident shooting it even after the air ball before that, but it felt good coming off and it looked good. It was just a little short.
It's not one play that decides a game.
You have any comment on the number of turnovers? Close to 30. I think it was 29 according to the stat sheet.
Uncharacteristic.
I think that was the ball game right there. You can't give that many turnovers.
30 possessions. We shoot a pretty high percentage. I don't know what we end up shooting. We get half of those possessions. We're going to score probably 8 to 10 more points.
Got a season high, Danny?
What's that?
Is that a season high?
It may be, Washington and Venice may have been right around the same early in the year.
What do you think, Steve? Just, totally frustrating?
Yeah, that's about the best way to sum it up, man. Not how I expected to go out, but, I mean, hopefully we get into the tournament somehow. Some things need to fall into place for us.
Some of the higher seeds to fall,
No, we need the higher seeds to win.
higher seeds to win.
Yeah. Yeah. We're fourth in the region right now, so we need everybody who's supposed to win. And we should be okay, hopefully.
Anything else? Thank you.
Wheeling Jesuit's a fantastic team. You look at them, what they've done in the conference this year, who they beat, where they beat, and we split with them. So we knew coming in, our guys had some confidence going in. They knew we had a chance. And, we wrote on the board, the only thing I'm going to say, we wrote our last thing on the board, it's still there. We had 40 minutes of toughness. So that's all we asked. You're only guaranteed 40 minutes. That was our little motto going in. You only guaranteed 40. But, we were guaranteed 45, and those guys dug in and gave us an extra 5 minutes of toughness. And we showed a lot of resiliency today.
Do you like the matchup coming in, Coach?
Yeah, we're not overwhelmed with size. You look at the UC or UPJ who's overwhelmed with size, and we're not blessed with that. A team that wants us to play small and fast, you look at the rankings, they were the second leading scoring team in the conference, we're the third. So I did like the matchup, but you look at them on paper, man, those guys, Danny Sankum's done a fantastic job of bringing those guys from freshmen all the way through. But I thought we had a good shot, and these guys, they make me look good.
You got rid of two big men, which helped quite a bit.
Yeah, that was big because when we come in and we knew the first two matchups we had, we start three guards. We start Javon here at the 3, and they start 3 bigs. They start Moore, Uquoma, and Kaddish. So it makes a matchup problem for him. But it was kind of the battle of that. I'm not going to take him out of the game. It's kind of like he's playing his way and I'm going to play my way. And thank goodness the time ran out and when it did. But he did a good job. You look at what we always combat is rebounding, and everybody, rebounding the battle, I thought we did pretty well, even though we lost it, but we battled and scrapped.
Y'all caused a lot of turnovers too. A lot of them seem to be in the paint, where you always had a lot of traffic there.
Right. We went back and watched some film of even Ohio Valley, and we've been preaching to them all year. One of our keys on the board was we have to get deflections. You got to get your hands on the ball. They're very much of a rhythm team with that motion offense they run, and if you deflect the ball, it just kind of can break the rhythm. But when they got the ball down in the paint, Javon and these guys did a great job just getting their hands on the basketball. Maybe we got it, maybe we didn't, but breaks the rhythm, and our active hands really, I think, disrupted them in the paint, gave them fits.
It's a funny game, isn't it, that you've got a 83% free throw shooter at the line to win it, and I think a 56% guy clinched it with those.
What do we know? We all go by percentages. What do we know? Yeah, and Corey Neely's a senior. I wouldn't have another guy up there. If we get in that situation tomorrow, I'm gonna put him up there. He stepped in at the end. Gentry made 2, or Gentry, did he make 1 or 2?
1.
He made 1. And then Corey Neely steps in, and he's got the chance to clinch it, and he knocks them both down. I know he was down coming in at the beginning of overtime. He was really distraught and was apologizing to the guys. But, Romel Kemp stepped up and said, Corey, I missed a layup. I said, shoot, I got a technical that cost us a point. We've all messed up somewhere. I said, just go make another play. Make it up. We're fine. And all the work he's put in, it culminated today.
Javon, you didn't have a field goal, and then all of a sudden, 11 points in a row for your team. Were they doing something with you, or what went on there? You just kind of took the game over for about a 4-minute stretch.
Basically, just my team was just telling me just stay confident. They told me second half was going to be my half, so I just trusted my team, and they just got me the ball in the right places and to make good shots.
Coach, there was a lot of craziness right there at the end of regulation. What do you say to your team when things are just going nuts like this?
What we try to revert back to is how hard we practice. Now I got to give these guys credit. We don't, we get after it. When it's practice time, we get after it. And I just reverted back to the days when you put in a lot of effort now. So don't feel nervous, don't feel stressed. You're prepared. I tell these guys all the time, nervous players are 2 things. You're either unprepared or you're unconfident. I said you should be either. We're prepared and we're confident. So things get a little haywire, but, one thing, Mike Boyd plays a lot of minutes in the regular season, and I left 3 seniors, Corey Willard, Javon, and Corey Neely in the game, which is an odd lineup for so long, but they leaned on these seniors. And Javon stepped up, Corey Neely stepped up, Corey Willard made 2 foul shots, the seniors pulled us through.
You're out there, you're going to overtime, and it's your first game in the Civic Center in the conference quarterfinals. Are you wishing Steve Cox is back on the bench at that point?
You can hear him. I'll tell you, it's the situation where when you're sitting down and approaching your guys, and you're looking up into the crowd, you can see Steve's face. I'm blessed to be here. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else with any other bunch of guys. To be truthful, I've told him that for about the second week. I wouldn't trade it for anybody else. We have a great time when we're on the road, but we know when it's time to get to business. And I'm grateful for what Steve Cox. Without Steve Cox, I wouldn't have been there. And we're not done. Hopefully,
Is it better playing in this tournament or coaching?
playing. That's not a question. When you get over there, I tell these guys all the time. You have practice every day, and I say, guys, practice time is my time. When you listen to me, game time is about their time. What do coaches do? We call some plays and we make some subs. I might as well pay admission. But these guys believe in me. I believe, but they've done a great job. But if you'd rather play, I'd rather play because I feel like I have in control. When you're ever on the sidelines, you got to trust your guys. And there's a lot of things we did late on the fly, and I trusted them. And again, good players make good coaches. And I'm not saying I'm a good coach, but I have good players.
The last play before the end of regulation, when that errant pass came across the court, was that deflected in any manner, or was that just a poorly thrown pass?
We had set up a different play, and again, I trust these guys. Javon made a read, he thought he had a back door, and Romel threw it, anticipating him coming out with the play we diagrammed. But, in that situation as a coach, you don't get mad. I tell these guys all the time, don't be robots. And he wasn't being a robot. He read that he played the lane, he tried to back cut, there was no deflection, it went out of bounds. But one thing I'll say, they just stopped and they flipped it, and they said, all right, we got to get a stop. They didn't sit there and pout and go back, badger back and forth with each other. They just said, all right, get a stop, and they did.
You gotta admit, you were open on that one.
I was wide open. I tell them all the time, if you'll throw it to me, I think I shot about 48% back in the day, but it seems to be they never throw it to me. It's crazy. I think they're selfish.
Shrewsbury doesn't score. He's got 4 fouls.
No
But yet-
rebounds.
Right, but yet he's in the game to make the key plays at the end. Did you think about pulling him before that, or?
Never. For those of you, Gentry Shrewsbury's won 2 state championships here and a state runner-up, and I was telling them outside going early in the game, these guys have never been here. This is the first time Javon's ever walked in the building was yesterday to watch our girls team play. So what I wanted to do early was try to lean on Corey Willard, Javon, and even Damian Tunstall, who've been here and had success, and then all of a sudden these guys will calm down. Did it happen that way? No. But I was telling Gentry Shrewsbury has 2 points, he makes the layup in overtime, and what I'm going to get on him about, he's the only player that played a minute that didn't get a rebound, which is not very good. But, he has the ball, taking the ball out of bounds under pressing. These guys know it's kind of crazy when we play like a West Liberty, these guys press. When Gentry has the ball, he doesn't turn it over. He can't really dribble that well. He can't really shoot that well, but he doesn't make mistakes. He's the headiest player, and that's why he succeeds at this level. He's 6'3", undersized post player that they laugh at him every time. He dunks about once every 2 weeks. And they always think it's a big deal, but he finds a way to succeed. And one thing about these guys don't care that his skill set, they know what he's going to give them, and he finds a way. You got to have those guys, and he doesn't care about selfishness, but he had the ball in his hands, and when he's out there, I have no qualms, and I'm at ease.
What about a matchup tomorrow? You don't have any clue who you're playing yet, but what about that?
Well, it's UPJ and Charleston. They're both going to be bigger than us. I will say that. We, as a coach, you always say, who do you want to play? I'm just glad we're playing, to be truthful. Our guys are one thing, Charleston we're probably a little bit more familiar with. We just played them last week, so the scouting would be a little easier. Pitt, Johnstown, it's kind of contrasting style. Pitt, Johnstown will try to slow it down and pound it down our throats, and Charleston will get up and they're big, long, and athletic. But I think our guys are responding. We told them when February 5th was our turning date, and you ask everyone, they know February 5th was the date our program changed. And since then, we've won 7 out of 8. I hope they go 17 overtimes out there, and we'll sit and watch the whole thing.
Anything else?
Thanks, guys.